Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. My name's Jack. Today we are doing a studio tour in BrickVault. I feel like this is the first real official update of what's going on in our LEGO studio. I'm going to let you know kind of what all this stuff is and how it came to be, and we've definitely got things for the future. There's things we always want to work on and make better, but I feel like now that we've kind of gotten through the bare bones of setting up the studio, we've been here a couple of months now, it's time to kind of show you what the studio looks like. So this is a familiar scene if you've seen our old update videos, and a lot of these sets here still look like they're in a lot of them are in the same spot. So things obviously have changed around quite a bit. Let me start right at the top. We've got the buildable figures, all the Star Wars buildable figures, as well as the Spider-Man Web Warrior Bridge battle set. Somebody said to put that in the city. That's not such a bad idea. Moving moving on to the side, Ultimate Collector Series Slave 1, Ultimate Collector Series TIE Fighter, as well as a couple other TIE Fighters that you might recognize from other sets. I really like this as a playset and a display set, the Shuttle Tidarium. And moving down, we've got a much, much older Clone Wars set. You might recognize that one. It's not the very first version, I don't know. There's so many of those ones. And we've got the Star Destroyer, as well as the Milano. Geez, this is almost like a quiz for me to remember everything all back to back as fast as possible. We've got the Ultimate Collector Series, R2-D2. These are some custom built fighters. These are not Lego sets. Well, this one is and this one is, but these ones here are custom built. Very, very nice, hyper accurate, extremely delicate builds. I constantly break that thing off when I walk by. This sticks out just a little bit too far and this thing constantly gets broken off. But anyways, moving on down, we've got the Bucket Wheel Excavator, the biggest, I think this is the biggest Technic set ever. I think so. I think so, yeah. If not, it's like the second or something. Massive set. Here we've got some of the new Star Wars Rogue One sets that we just built like last month or something. Great looking shuttle here. And moving on down, more Star Wars Rogue One. This is all kind of newish in terms of display down here and up here and up here, because we used to keep our minifigs here and we built our shelves and moved them on out. So minifigs are no longer resting here, and instead we've got a few other things. So this can be moved around quite a bit. There's a lot more space. So we've just kind of thrown out some of our more, oh, here's the Ghost. I really like this set. We've thrown out a lot more of our sets that are kind of just a little bit easier to look at. More Star Wars down here. Well, there was a Spider-Man set, and oh man, it just goes down and down and down and down. And more sets and more sets and more sets. Some of them we really like, and I hate putting them so far below, but in terms of space requirement, that's just kind of how it needs to go for the time being. But we can get stuff down here. Why is that turned around? Why is the bad section? There we go. Much better. There we go. All right, and yes, so there's one side of the studio. It's definitely a lot more full than you saw it before. A lot more full. Let's check out the other side. All right, and we're not at the back wall just yet. This is our custom building wall, or just one of them really. The smaller pieces for our custom building are all organized in here. They're not fully fleshed out. There's definitely some more space in here that we can fill up, but that's always a work in progress. And we're moving down here. The table, this whole table is meant for just kind of when we experiment with cool custom creations, or we think we have the parts for a build and we just kind of start pulling pieces out and putting stuff together and figuring out we do or we don't. And every now and then, yes, things kind of just become crazy and messy, and we have to organize this. Usually Friday afternoons we clean everything up and put everything back in the proper place. And by proper place, I mean all the places here as well. Much of the larger pieces are hanging out down here, and that is also the case for the pieces underneath the table as well. So we've got organized drawers here. These are some pretty well organized bags, but not in the drawers yet. And then all the drawers back here, all the drawers in the back. This is everything we use for custom building. We've got a few things on display, some architecture sets. Actually, that's not a Lego set when you look real close, but I kind of like that little panda anyways. Here's some of the larger stuff. We've got the crawler crane, Tower of Orthanc, Death Star. This is the new one, kind of new. It's the revamped old one, I should say. Imperial Shuttle, Tidarium, Ultimate Collector Series. We've got a couple of the pod racers underneath, as well as a custom ship here. I feel like one of these London Creator buses is definitely asking to get parted down at some point. Let's move on over. Big Ben, big old castle set, or this one's a much bigger castle set, as you can see. Disney classic castle here. This was just kind of a fun thing I did the other day, kind of our BrickVault B, as you can see. And I kind of curved the back in a little bit. I thought that looked a little bit more interesting instead of just a straight line up, but it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. Moving on over here, some of you guys might recognize the JK Brickworks Clockwork Heart. This was just sort of, I have to describe it as kind of like an itch I had to scratch. It's just a wonderful looking build, and I just really wanted to make it. And I didn't really care so much about having the proper pieces and the proper colors. Just, it's such a fun, it's such a great design, honestly. The gears system works wonderful. And if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link for JK Brickworks Clockwork Heart, because he designed it. He made a great video about it. I just liked it. And then this is one of our oldest sets. I think it is our oldest set. It came from either 1989 or 1990 or something. One of the old classic pirate ships. This is what I had as a kid. My brothers and I, we played with this all the time. We took it apart, put it back together, took it apart, put it back together, and it still looks good. I still think it looks like a great, wonderful set. These are some of the old minifigs that we've got in the bags here. Yeah, ancient guys. Really, really great stuff, though. The pirate ships always looked better than just about all the other sets that were coming out at the same time. That's just always my opinion. Way more sets. You guys might be able to recognize the city stuff. This is all different. Well, most of this stuff is city stuff. We've got a Batcopter and maybe a couple other things hiding in here. And as we move on up, here's some Speed Champions for the most part, once again. But just a lot of vehicles that we really like. And this top area is the collectibles. So most recently, we've got that little Batgirl over there, but we've got all the Brickheads and their boxes. Everybody likes the boxes. Up on top, there is the collectible Lego store that I had to wait in line for 4.5 hours. That was crazy, but I think it was worth it.
That's my fault.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is your fault, Mike. Yes, and also that same promotion on a different day with the collectible figs from the same store. There's the box for the Beatles box. It just looks so good. Anyways, let's move on over to another spot. All right, and I haven't actually left the room yet. Sorry, we're still in the same room. But this is our ideas board. It's a bit messy, it's a bit crazy, and I don't want to get too close or you might figure out all of our secrets that we're going to do on our channel. No, we've got receipts up there for doing reviews for our employees that whenever we go to the Lego store, it's always good to do Lego store employee reviews. And every now and then, if you don't reset your cookies, you just kind of have to wait to do some of those reviews. Anyways, yeah, there's the catalog. I believe that is the November catalog. This is the color palette for 2016. We've also got a whiteboard for other ideas. And also in this room that I didn't bother to point out is our pre-lighting room and also snack area. Hot water boiler.
It's messy. Don't show it.
Well,
it's messy.
Yeah, it's messy, but honestly, these are like stains in the table. These actually, I mean, they're not dirty. I just wipe. We've got wet wipes and everything. It's just what the table looks like. We're not that messy. Anyways, yeah, there's just some stuff that we use. This is our light box kit. Honestly, this is one of the most useful things in the entire studio, getting bits of tape and little razors and scissors and stuff. That's actually a lot more useful for the light box in here than you might actually think. Also, hey Mike, how's it going? Okay. Anyways, there's the light box here. I'm actually gonna go past you. Sorry, am I getting in your shot? Oh, that's too bad. And beyond here, this is the new spot. This is the new bit of the light studio that I don't think we've shown yet. And what we've got here is, yes, it's a much bigger area, and so we don't accidentally get the box into the shot. I just like the white stuff here. We can do a lot more open, bigger sets. This is just looks better. We got these nice lights and everything. Man, just love this spot here.
Turn this off so it doesn't like.
No, you've already ruined it, Mike. Let's just leave this room. All right, and here we are in Mike's office while he's in the Lightroom. It kind of looks more like a dungeon than an office. It's all black here, and honestly, this is just for like sound suppression. We don't want to like torture the guy, but it does help make recording a lot easier for when he's doing his reviews. There's the mic. See down here.
Mike's mic.
Mike, yes, Mike's mic.
Leave my
Yes.
dungeon.
You like your dungeon, Mike?
Yes, I like my dungeon.
Yes.
Master.
Right, okay. Honestly, it was meant, we wanted to have two different film areas to happen in two different studios. There's a camera in the back. It's kind of low light. There it is. We had a camera and another whole setup for doing like builds in two rooms at the same time. We're going to change that idea up a bit. So, Mike, we can actually take down some of these black curtains in the future, which I think you're going to be stoked about. But we're pretty excited about the coolest, newest feature, which is something I don't know when it's coming, and I don't want to tell you what it is right now, because then that's all what the comment section is going to be about. But we've got some pretty cool ideas, and well, I already did a city update tour video, so I didn't actually focus on our minifig shelves. I showed the making of the shelves in another episode, and I guess I can go through pretty quickly what all this stuff is, and we've got some really cool news. I think maybe next week or the week after we're gonna have a really awesome minifig video. I don't know, we'll get into that later. But this is pretty much almost every single Lego Star Wars minifigure ever made. And it's not all of them, it isn't all of them, I'm not saying it is, but there's only a handful that we're missing, and I mean that quite literally. I think only 3 or 4 or maybe 5 minifigs at the most for Star Wars that we're missing at the moment in order to have a 100 fully complete minifigure collection for Star Wars, and we're going to make a video on that and all that stuff. But yeah, literally a handful we're missing. And as we go through, it kind of randomizes itself. We've got some Nexo, we've also got some Dimensions, as well as the Hobbit. I don't know, things just get crazy. For the most part, this is all DC. But yeah, you're going to see some Marvel kind of mixed in there as well. Collectible minifigure series, Disney collectible minifigure series. And then, yes, we've got some more of these Marvel stuff. We've seen this in another episode. I just kind of wanted to show you what a lot of this stuff is. We've got some city things going on here. More collectible minifigure series. It just kind of randomizes itself out. This is all Ninjago, though. Down below, there we go. Scooby-Doo, Alien Conquest, and Toy Story. All right, I'm almost quizzing myself. Now let's get into my office. I think this is the last place. All right, so here we are in my office. This is my desk. It hasn't really changed a whole lot since the first time I did a studio tour. You know, there's a few pens and there's a few sort of random articles here. I absolutely love this machine that I work with, though. The two screens look wonderful. We've got a nice mic, and everything's great about this office setup that I like very much. And there's our camera, soundboard. Everything actually kind of looks pretty similar to when we first started until we get to here. Yes, the backdrop has changed. Did an episode on the changing of the backdrop. And even since then, I mean, I've already switched out the majority of the different builds that are back here. And this Star Destroyer, it's just staying. I like it too much. It's not going anywhere. And we've got extra lights now. It used to just be 2 lights. Now I'm using 4 lights because it makes the background look a bit nicer and a bit brighter. And yeah, and this room gets insanely hot. If you haven't noticed, back on this edge here, this is my window, but the window's in the sunlight all the time. This is hot. It like hurts my hand to touch it. So this room gets very, very warm when I'm filming. So if I look a little bit hot, it's because I am. But anyways, let's move on out of this room and back into our main room, the room that I like the most, aside from the city. This is it. This is all we got. This is the studio tour, and I think what I'm gonna do after this is just kind of do a quick run-through studio tour, kind of like how I did with the very first episode of showing this place off, and maybe get some close-ups of things that I didn't bother to talk about here. So I hope you enjoy. Is this happening again? Alright, this isn't funny. I don't know what... Seriously?